以下落嚟係我哋今次大會嘅最後一位演講嘉賓，佢亦係一位殿堂級擁有27年經驗嘅超連鎖店主。我哋俾最熱烈嘅掌聲，我哋美安集團亞太區執行副總裁 Executive Vice President of Asia Pacific Kevin Buckman。
All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, what I want to do to close this out is, first of all, I want to speak to you as an unfranchised owner, not as an executive vice president with Market America Worldwide. I want to talk to you as an unfranchised owner, okay? A lot of people ask, you know, in the first 2 years, I will tell you, it was tough. It was tough, but we overcame the challenges, and this is what it has become. But you know, I want to share something with you. I was there at the very beginning. I was one of the very first 12, if you will, unfranchised owners, okay? We had nothing, all right? And the thing I want to share with all of you here is every single one of these people that you saw here up on the stage, they started out like every one of you. We all started out like every one of you, okay? We started out with a why. We had a why. Every one of these people had a sense of purpose. They have a why. You have a why. You have a why. And that's the difference between succeeding and not getting anywhere. You have to have a strong why, a strong sense of purpose, because that why is what motivates you to implementing, executing the result-producing activities that generate the income. And by leading by example, you teach other people to teach other people to teach. And it duplicates, it scales. Now, when I first started out, I will just share with you, okay? It took me a whole year. I just want to share a whole year, 12 whole months to become an executive coordinator. In the very beginning, it took me 12 months. And the reason is because I flushed, I purged, I had people go inactive on one side, I had to get somebody else in there. So I experienced all those challenges 12 months. But I continued to prospect and sponsor people. Actually, I prospected, I recruited, and I sponsored, okay? If you had a checkbook, you had 4 teeth, and you could fog a mirror up, in other words, you were breathing, you were in, whether you wanted to be or not. And see, that didn't bode very well for me. The result was terrible, okay? At the end of about 5 months, I had nobody. I had one person. I had my mother. You see, I did every single thing in this business incorrectly, okay? And there was times when I thought, you know what, and I used to get the same thing. Is it another one of those things? Every time I talk, and it just got old and old and old. And there was times I felt like I got frustrated, and I said, you know what, I don't know if I'm going to do this. But the more I thought about it, okay, my why, I wanted to get out of debt. And right at that point in time, there was not a vehicle, there was not a system, there was nothing, not a business, there was nothing I could do to create that secondary source of income that would allow me to get out of debt. Because I was working 60 to 84 hours a week, and it was everything I could do just to satisfy the minimum obligations that I had created for myself. I made a lot of bad choices. I made a lot of bad decisions, and I paid the consequences for them. But it were my decisions, and I had to get out. So every time I thought about, I'm at the end of the road during that 6-month period, okay, my why took over. And I realized from an academic standpoint, there was nothing better than this. I just had to see it through. Was very fortunate, about 6-7 months after failing miserably, JR called me. And he said, Kevin, he says, you don't have a clue what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing, but it's just not going to work. You're going to burn out, and you'll be gone. He says, I'm coming up. I want to come up. I want to see you in Denison, New Jersey. He says, and I want to go sit down with you and go through with you the basic 5, okay? And at the time, we didn't know what the basic 5 was, okay? And many of you have probably heard it, tape A, tape B, the basic 5, part 1, part 2, and you hear tinkling of the glass and everything. Well, he recorded that on a little My First Sony, okay? He turned the glass over. We were in a cubicle, and that was the first basic 5 training. It was the very first training we ever had. And then at the same time, he talked about the evaluation approach. No decision closed with me. He says, you know, every time you sit down with somebody, you're so hung up on signing that person up, okay, and then moving on to the next one. They're 300 BV, 600 BV, was 600 BV back then. And what happened is then go and find another one to put 600 BV on the other side and get another one, get another one. He says, you're so focused on getting a check that you can't build the business. You can't build the business, okay? So he says, you got to stop. He says, you got to get people to lead you to people and get them to lead you to people. And then if they qualify, if they look like they're going to be business partners, he says, then you put them on a trial run, and then you see whether or not they can do the business, okay? The other thing that happened at that time is we got a product called Thermochrome. We had a product called Thermochrome, and it had a 3-day. It came in bottles, a 30-day supply, but we also had them in 3-day trial sizes. So you got 12 of these little capsules in a trial size packet. So I had already burned through my entire possibility list. You know, most of them I signed up, and they were already out of the business. So my list had gone down to about zero. Maybe I was going to get somebody. I didn't know who. But I had gone down, I had burned through the entire list. So I thought about this. I said, okay, what am I going to do? What I did was I took those trial sizes, and it allowed me to get into the cold market. Does everybody understand? You have your warm market, your friends, family, associates in your warm market, old school friends, things like that. You're in your warm market. But see, the product, if you have a product that's in high demand and has value and does what it says, it allows you to get into the cold market, which is gigantic compared to your warm market. So what I did was I put they came into a case of 80 trial sizes. I put that on what we used to call transfer buying, and I put that on my transfer buying so that I got 80 of these trial sizes every month, okay? And what I did was I made a goal and objective that I was going to give away, okay, a 3-day trial size to 80 people every month. Every month. As soon as I'd see them, anybody would like to, needs to lose weight, anybody trying to lose weight, anybody that's been on a diet, multiple diets. It's just in conversation. Yes, I know. I would give them the Thermochrome 3-day trial size. I'd give them a brochure. Well, it wasn't a brochure. It was a Xerox copy, a black and white cheap, but you had what you had, okay? Gave it with them, and I made sure they got my contact information, okay? I ended up building a customer base that was generating 2,000-3,000 BV. Generating about, I'd say about 1,200, 1,500 BV worth of product sales every month. So now all of a sudden the volume was coming in, but it was all based on customers, okay? I had nobody to go to as far as my possibility list. So then what I did was I started working my customer base, one-to-one marketing, increasing the share of product they were buying. They'd started out with Thermochrome. I introduced them to Isotonics Vitamin C, introduced them to Isotonics Multivitamin, introduced them to Isotonics B12. Soon they were buying the B12, they were buying the multi. I capitalized on the success of that one product, that trial size, and of course they were buying a 30-day supplies in the bottle of the thermochrome. So I built up this repeat retail customer base. Now, when you have a really good product, all I did was, do you know anybody else that you might be looking to be in the market for one of these products? Well, I'd get names and get referrals from them, and I started going and selling product to them. But I always kept the linkage on paper as to where those customers came from. Well, what happened was, one night, okay, I was delivering an order, and it was about a $500, $600 order. Well, in there was about $250 in retail profit, okay? And I was delivering it to 3 women. And when I did it, they were all 3 big orders, and I knew in the back of my mind that, guess what? Those orders were not just all of them. They were getting the product for other people. So what I did was I asked them, would you like to keep that retail profit? I really feel, I want to thank you so much for bringing me these customers. But I do feel obligated to ask you, there's about $250, $300 worth of retail profit here. Would you be interested in keeping that, profit for yourself? Of course they wanted to keep the profit. And they were saying, great. I said, I'll show you how. They said, tonight? I said, yeah, I'll show you how to do that. So what happened was I had now worked these customers. They already had a customer base before I ever got them before I ever registered them in the business. Does everybody see this? Okay? So now when they came into the business, all right, what happened? They had a customer base, they believed in the product, they were a product of the product, and they had a customer base repeat already in place, okay? Didn't even know it, all right? The only thing we needed to do now is what? I needed to show them how to expand their sales and distribution team to get, 2 legs so that they could start earning commissions. They weren't real keen on that. They really weren't really keen on that because who were we going to target to build the left and right organization? Well, to duplicate exactly what I did with them, I said, who are the individuals that brought you most of the orders? And those would be the people we would go see, okay? They didn't like that much because they realized, okay, well, if they're buying from themselves, I'm going to lose my retail profit. You understand? Okay? Now, here's the thing. You got to understand. You have to change your mindset. You have to change your beliefs, okay? Your belief patterns, because things change. It's just like Joanne talked about yesterday, okay? From the 60 hours a week that I was working, I was thinking like a salary man, you see, because I was trading hours for dollars, billable rate. I was thinking like a salary man, okay? But as soon as I left the plant, the nuclear plant, I had to start thinking like a businessman for the other 8 to 15 hours a week. So it's a change. It's not a career decision. We build this business part-time until such time we have the choice as how, whether we want to do this full-time or continue part-time. Some people just love what they're doing. They will continue with that 40, 45-year plan because they love it, but they're going to enjoy so much more revenue and money coming in. They have choices. They can do whatever they want, but that's their choice. So what happened was I had to change my mindset, okay? I had to change my mindset with respect to being not a salaryman, but a businessman, an entrepreneur, okay? So there's a lot of growth and changes I had to go through. All right? Now, what I want to show you is this. This goes for everybody, okay? I had to ask myself, in the beginning, okay, and I have people ask this question, do you want to make $1,500 a week fast? That's U.S. $1,500 a week fast, or do you want to make a $300 check faster? Okay, I can get, we can do both. I can get you $1,500 a week fast, or we can approach this and I can get you a $300 check even faster. I mean quick, okay? So, but the question here, when you answer it, okay, you need to make sure, because that's going to determine your approach. If you're after a $300 check, I don't believe it. I got to prove that if I get to 12 and 12, I'm going to get a $300 check. I want to get it really fast. Okay, when you start and you build that business from the beginning, in order to get that $300 check very, very fast, what you're doing is you're going to be approaching the business not to build residual income. You're going to approach it like I did in the very beginning. All I did was left, right, because all I was trying to do was get that check as quickly as possible, okay? And I wasn't building it to build a business with residual income. Now, you have to decide, and you need to make sure your new business partner understands that, we're building a business for residual income. We're not, you got to quit thinking like a salary man and thinking that you're going to trade hours for dollars to get that check as quickly as possible at the end of the week, all right? Now, here's the thing we do. Same numbers you've seen. These numbers are consistent, okay? We're talking about you got to have 150 to 250, somewhere 200 BV to start with respect to personal use in your household, right? Base 10, okay? You're going to have 100 names for the possibility list. You're also going to have to sell 100 BV worth of new product for the first 12 months, okay? 100 BV of new product every month. Why? Because we know that greater than 50% of all initial sales that we make, everybody out there, greater than or equal to 50% of all initial sales will end up being repeat sales if we implement that follow-up system 1421. So it's just a follow-up, and they will be repeat customers. So if we sell 100 BV a month of new business for the first 12 months, we have ended up doing what? Initial sales, 1,200 BV, correct? If half become repeat customers and buyers, we're going to have a repeat customer base of greater than 600 BV. Plus your 200, then you're on franchise. Everybody's looking at a successful unfranchise of 800 BV to 1,000 BV a month, okay? So that's for that. The next thing is you got to show the plan. We have to show the plan, expose the plan, share the plan, whatever you want to call it, but we have to expose the plan to 4 qualified individuals per month, qualified, okay? People that in your dialogue, in your conversation, okay, they communicate to you, okay, that they're interested in improving their financial situation. They realize in the conversation that they can't get what they want by solely relying on their current income stream. They need to do something more. They need to do something more than they're currently doing in order to obtain something more than they have. Okay? If they in the conversation, in that dialogue, you basically acquire that information and you hear that by listening, what will happen is that's a qualified individual. That's a qualified individual. Now, the other thing is this, and I learned this the hard way. Okay? You have everybody, there's another thing. Everybody that I bring into the business, a business partner, you will buy 3 tickets. You will buy 3 tickets to the next event. Not 2, not 1, you will buy 3. Not 5, not 7, not 10. I don't require that. I require, though, everybody buys 3. It's a requirement. Okay? My requirement should be your, it's an expectation. Okay? It's an expectation. Because I know that if you don't buy those 3 tickets, 1 for you and 2 for 2 new people that you are going to acquire, okay, or secure between this event when you buy them and the next event that you just bought the tickets for, you won't find them. The old adage, well, I'll buy them when I need them. But right now I don't need them because I don't have the people. No, what will happen is you won't have the people because you won't get the people. You will not go and do the things you learned here this weekend to find those people. Okay? So everybody has to buy 3 tickets. So I'm going to tell you right now, every single one of you, if you want what you say you want, okay? If you can't solely get what you want over the next 3 to 5 years by solely relying on your current 45-year plan, you need to buy the 3 tickets. You need to buy the 3 tickets because I know the 40 to 45-year plan is not going to end up, you're not going to get a raise and a pay increase for 99.99997% of us out there. It's just not going to happen where you're going to be able to make $11,500 a week. after 3 to 5 years solely relying on that 40 to 45-year plan. That was a decision I had to realize, okay? I was making a lot of money. There was no more money I was going to get paid. And I had to realize if I didn't do this, I needed that income stream because I wanted to be totally out of debt in 3 years, 3 to 5 years, 0 debt. All right, so first thing you do, names list. You got to have a names list. So here's what I did. Put down the names, and then I sat and I grouped them up, category. So friends, family, associates, work, outside of work, all the different, places where these names came from. So, one would be an A, a B, a C, a D, an X, whatever it may be. And then what I did, this is a linear on that list when I made the name. Now, what are the names going to be used for? Okay, well, first thing is I'm going to do what? Trial size marketing. Why? It's easy to give a 3 days trial size away in a piece of paper, okay? And now, we didn't do it back then, and now just send them a video link for them to watch a video. Now you have and just let them know you're going to follow up with a call to see what they got out of the video. It's very simple. It's very simple. It's not rocket science. It's not hard, okay? It's not hard. Everybody can do this. But what you do is you make this list so that you have all these people, where they came from, what they do. You need to know a little bit about them so that you can group them accordingly. Why? Because when it comes time to build, you cannot fall into, well, I'm going to put them on the left or I'm going to put them on the right. I'm going to put them where I need them. No, you keep them where you're going. You see, I did it the wrong way. I went like this to get that check. Salaryman. Businessman builds long-term, delayed gratification. You're going to get paid a lot down the road. In the beginning, you won't get paid for a lot of the things you're doing. But in the end, you're going to get paid a hell of a lot for the things you're not doing. You saw that as far as, what you sow, what you reap, the 10%, okay, that Janice talked about, same thing. You've got to sow the seed, you've got to cultivate, but in the end, you're going to reap so much, okay, for the things you did in the very beginning. But you got to see, you have to think like a businessman, not a salaryman. Salaryman, as soon as they do something, they want to get paid. You see, businessman knows that it's delayed gratification. You're building something that's going to pay you over and over and over long term. Okay? Again, it's not hard. Okay? I will tell you right now, I'd have a box. I'm going to give you honest. I would have a box. Well, I do have a box, actually. I have a box, at least one box, okay, at a minimum, of the daily essentials so that I always have 10 3-day trial sizes available to me wherever I go, and I have 10 of the brochures in my briefcase along with my laptop. Now, I can do that, and I have the link so that no matter whatever I'm doing, I enter into conversation, dialogue, I can do trial size marketing because you can do that anywhere. And how hard is it to give away something? It's not hard, okay? Oh, but it costs money. You're buying the box and it costs money. That's true, but this is a business. This is a business. You think of every other business out there, they invest. They take money and they invest it in the growth of their business. Now, comparatively, for a traditional business, that one box is nothing. It's nothing, okay? With respect, when you compare what you can earn in this business as well as the traditional business. But it goes right back. You've got to change your mindset, your belief patterns. We are entrepreneurs, okay? We're not salarymen. All right, now, let me just clear something up. The next thing he told me about was the evaluation approach, no decision, close. Quit thinking about closing the person when you sit with them. He said, forget about it. What you want to find out is give them an educated overview, make sure that they see the plan, and then see if they can think of anybody that might have an interest, okay? Now, where do you always start? you pretty much start with your warm market, or you start with some, friends, family, associates, work, church, whatever it may be. You start there, okay? And that's where you would go to get your first person to evaluate your business. Does everybody follow this? Okay? So that's where you go to get your evaluation. Now, the beauty of that is, guess what? You know what? You know a lot of the same people. When you're in your warm market, you know a lot of the same people when you get them to evaluate it. Now, when you evaluate it, okay, all you're trying to do is, do you know anybody that we might go to and get them to evaluate it? Okay? Now, here's what happens. If I show the plan, all right? If I show the plan to Joanne, and she sees it, on her interest level, 1 to 10, she says, I'm a 4. Maybe a 5, I don't know. But see, we know each other. I started with her in warm market. We worked together at the plant or whatever it may be. Now, she goes, well, Kevin, I don't know. Maybe Dolly might be interested. I think Dolly, she knows a lot of people. She loves to talk. She's like a people magnet. And, I think, she could lead us to a lot of people. Great. Let's you and I call Dolly. Now, I know Dolly, okay? But at the same time, so does Joanne. But see, we take and we basically have my energy, my excitement, my enthusiasm. She's like, well, what if this does work? So she has a little energy. So we use that, and we both go meet with Dolly. Now, all that energy, excitement, enthusiasm, we're pumped. We're positive. And we promote and we move that over into Dolly's. Everybody see this, okay? But we're working together because we know the same people. Why? Because we keep in the same category, okay? So now we show the business to Dolly. Dolly says, heck yeah, I know 8 to 10, 12 people that would be interested, okay? That's what I think. I said, great, she's excited. On a scale of 1 to 10, she's a 9, okay? Well, what happened to Joanne? Joanne went from a 4 to a what? She went to an 8. See, because now, whoa, this is leading to somebody. Next thing we do is what? We book appointments with Dolly's people, and Joanne and I go to Dolly's, and we show the business, okay? Get those 8 people to evaluate it. We're not interested in closing. JR says it's not the close. You get deep into that network, that sphere of influence. So now what happens is we book about 4 appointments from the 10 people that Dolly had over at her house. Now all of a sudden, guess what? I say, Joanne, this looks like this may work. She already knows because Dolly's interested, and Dolly brought about 4 to 5 people that are interested, and we booked the appointment. I said, I think, you know what? Let's start a trial run, Joanne. So everybody see this. Now, I'll put Joanne in here so I can keep track. Here's Joanne, trial run, and guess what? This is what we're leading. Dolly's there. I wonder if this will work. Yeah. Dolly's here. We've got 4 people. We're looking for people to get in here. I'm doing this because now Joanne is visually, and so will Dolly, they're visualizing what they've seen on the video. I always use the video because it happens quick. I can put it in, we watch it, now we have the meeting after the meeting within 30 minutes, discussing and dialoguing about what's great about it and everything. You with me? We're just talking about it because it's about conversation. There's no pressure, nothing. See, I don't have to worry about it. Now, Joanne has already led to what? Dolly. And Dolly's led to other people. Now, I may enroll or register Joanne into the business. You with me? But I want Joanne to see once she sees it 3 times and there's validation that people she's led to are leading to other people, then I'll register in the business. She's going to be bugging me about registering her in the business. She wants, let's get started. Okay, great. And then we move. And then Dolly goes up with the trial run. Okay, or maybe Dolly, we've already booked appointments with her people, and I'll register Dolly and Joanne at the same time. Does everybody follow this, okay? A lot of people get hung up, when do you quit? When do you register them? As soon as they've seen it about 3 times, or that they've led us to people that are interested. Is everybody with me, okay? Because what I'm going to do is I'm using the team to come together so that they will work and do the things they need to do because they come in as a team. You with me? And Dolly doesn't want to let Joanne down. Joanne doesn't want to let Dolly down. So it puts them in a situation where they're more inclined to act and take action. All right? All right. Now, again, here's how it goes. Everybody needs to, this is how it works. Okay? You've got you. Okay? A, there's Joanne. We have an overlap, don't we? Now, Dolly is going to be somewhere in here. Okay? So anyway, we go and see, okay, there's Dolly. All right? So we go in there and we read. So now all of a sudden, how it normally works is if you get in and you start, you need to stay. When you get that momentum, and you get, so we've got momentum in that leg with Dolly. It's very important. We want to keep it and drive it deep and ride it like a wave, okay? Because that momentum, we don't want to lose the momentum. Now, everybody says, well, how do you get paid? Well, you're going to get paid. You got all these people up here I can use for the other side, okay? Joanne has all these people here that she can use for the other side. But what we want to do is we want to get these XAs, okay, XBs, and we want to take advantage of the overlap because of the excitement, the enthusiasm, and the energy with the like people, okay? Now, here's the thing. In this business, you can make 11.5 a week plus by building just 2 sales and distribution organizations. Just 2. Not 4, not 6, not 8, not 10, not 12, but just 2. And we build them deep, but we only have to build 2. The problem with most of us, the problem with me at the very beginning is I didn't know how to build a leg. I didn't know how to build it. I was just putting people left, right, like I was playing some kind of board game to get a check. What I needed to be doing was learning how to build a leg and at the same time teach people how to build a leg so that they could build a leg on their own. Is everybody with me? Okay? So what ended up happening is when I started sponsoring these people, okay, that were, remember the customers? Okay, when I turned those 3, 4 customers actually into on franchise owners and partners now, okay, those 4 people ended up being national supervising coordinators before I ever was a professional coordinator. 4 nationals before I ever hit professional coordinator. Okay? People, I can remember in the old days, they would say, Kevin, get off that leg. You need to go get paid, you know, because everybody, I said, no. They deserve my time, energy, and effort. I've already been the other way. I ain't getting off that, okay? So I just stayed and stayed and stayed. Didn't matter. I knew, guess what? This is how we need to build it because it was working. But at the same time, I was teaching them, okay? I was teaching them how to build a leg in the process. So I used the common leg. I used the common leg to teach them how to build a leg. Is everybody with me? Okay? You do that, and all of a sudden, you're going to get pin levels, you know, real pin levels, earning, okay, quickly because they've got half of it, okay, where they're already hitting the payout criteria to some degree, whether it be 24 and 24 or 36 and 36, or they've got 5,000, they've already got 5,000 or 36 or 24 coming in on a regular basis. They may not have much on the other side. That's okay. But the thing is they're staying with it. Is everybody with me? They're staying with it. And then here's how it goes. Here's the XAs, XBs, XB, XA, XB, XA. This is, okay, this right here, this is Joanne and Dolly's leg. And these are my other that I went in there, the people in the outer that didn't know them. They weren't even connected, okay? Now, I put 80%. Listen, the 80-20 rule applies to everything. 80-20 rule applies to everything, okay? 20% of your people generate 80% of your GB group business volume, okay? 20% of the activities, okay, in the unfranchised business development center, 20% of it generate 80% of your results, okay? A lot of us don't work, you know, we don't focus on the 20%. We focus on just everything. No, You identify the 20% of the activities that generate 80% of your business, and you identify the 20% of the people that generate 80% of your business, and that's where you put in 80% of your time. Does everybody get this? Okay? Because that's what gets you paid. So I would put in 20% of my time here and 80% here. And the result was the 4 nationals. Okay? Now, maintain the vested economic interest in the success of the organization. Okay? Okay? Everybody has a vested interest. Now, the outcome, you're working let me just talk to this. Now you say, well, what do you got? You only got so much time. All right? So what I would do is I would bring, if I was working in Delaware here, okay, with Joanne and Dolly, okay, and then I had these people in Maryland, I'd have these people drive up to Delaware to go with me to Joanne's house and Dolly's house and bring them to the meeting. There were people, they didn't care. There was more people, okay? But the thing is I made them drive up because it was a qualifier. How bad do you want what you want? I never made it real easy. I never busted my rear end like I did in the beginning. I learned the hard way. You make them sacrifice a little bit, okay? Now, bring new person to the follow-up, okay? So now I was using my time because I only had 8 to 15 hours a week. I was using my time to build both legs, okay? All right, by working combinations. Okay, so I'd bring them over, home business presentations, might be a product preview, might be modus preview, whatever it may be. I would tie the new people over in the right leg into the leg that I was teaching, okay, how to build the leg. All right, so the ABC pattern, okay, I'm just going to go, here you go, ABC, you just saw this, A1. Okay, but you're using the ABC pattern to follow up and build depth into the organization. Why? Because you want to have these banks, okay, accruing and filling up with BV, okay, in that one side so that you're setting the stage for when they finally realize, I can do this, then all of a sudden when the pressure gets too much, they want to go what? They want to go get paid. So all of a sudden, you're going to end up with people that have volume already sitting there, whether it's 1,200 every week, 2,400 every week, okay? All of a sudden, now they have what? They have some serious income every month, twice a month, or every week. So now all of a sudden, it adds, it leverages them, okay? You're using the organization to basically, it's called organizational design and development with respect to modifying human behavior. You're modifying the human behavior. All right? Now, let me show you something. I may have said this. This is my 4th leadership school, so I can't remember what I said yesterday or the weekend before, whatever. So if I repeat myself, humor me, nod, and act like like I'm just going senile and the old guy, he can't help it. But I want to share with you something, okay? When I bring a new business partner in to the business, I want them to, and before we actually register and everything, I always now want to revisit and let them know that what? You are going to be part of a team. You are going to be part of a team, okay? Now, we have senior team members above me, and we're going to have junior partners, team members, below you. Even though there's nobody now, trust me, the way we're building this, there's going to be somebody very quickly. Excuse me. So, the thing is I need you to understand, as part of a team, a member of the team, you have roles and responsibilities. You have a role to play in this team, and you have responsibilities with this team. And if you don't execute your responsibilities, you're going to be letting the team down, okay? You know, the thing is everybody has to do what they're supposed to do. It's just still a little bit, okay? If everybody does their 10%, we will all be in a position to achieve 100%. But the thing is everybody has to do their 10%. Everybody has to do and execute and implement whatever their role is. And what is their role? They got to use and sell product. They've got to share the business, okay, to 4 qualified individuals every month. They've got to use in their household 200 BV, and they got to create what? A repeat customer base of about 5 individuals that are buying about 100 BV, 50 to 100 BV worth of product every month in the very beginnings. Everybody with me? Base 10, okay? And then we're going to look to get what? 3 people on the left and 3 on the right organizations to do the exact same thing. That's your role. Now the team is going to help you, support you in making that happen, allowing you, helping you create an environment where you can do that, okay? Where you can do that, all right? But what I want to share with you is this. This is what happens when everybody does their part. I'm teaching them, here it is. It's me, okay, in month 1. There's Joanne, okay? So Joanne, all right, let me back this up. Okay, she disappeared on me. Okay, there's Joanne, month 1. So it's me and Joanne, okay? Now, what does Joanne have? How many people does she have to get to evaluate the business, show the plan to? 4, okay? 4, all right? How many do I have to show the plan to? 4, at least 4. Okay, so we're going to say 4. She shows the plan to 4. I show the plan to 4. Out of those 4, we have 8. Okay, now doing this, I know for a fact, doing this business, as you do it and you do it correctly, the normal closure rate is going to be, if you show it to 4 qualified individuals, 1 of them is going to join you in the business. Okay, but what I'm going to show you here is this. I'm not going to use a 4-to-1 ratio of onboarding new business partners. I'm going to use an 8-to-1. And I'm going to say, you know what? We have to show the plan to 8 people just to get 1, not 4, because I want you to see what happens. Now, remember, I'm using Joanne, and then here, all of a sudden, in the first month, Joanne and we go visit Dolly, okay? We transfer there. We bring Dolly into the business. There we go. So we've got now what? This is taken off. I've got 2 people. 2 months in the business, I got 2 people. Okay? Now here we go. Dolly shows the plan to 4, Joanne 4, Kevin 4. Now what happens? 12 people divided by 8, 1. So in month 3, the team grows by 1. Now do you understand something? Let's say I show the plan to 4, okay? 4. None of my people come in the business. It doesn't lead to anything. It doesn't matter because guess what? The team is still growing because each one of them did their role. They performed their role. They executed their role by doing 4. So the whole idea is the team still grew. Is everybody with me? The team still grew. So I'm still what? I'm excited. I'm enthused. It's growing. Okay? None of my people, they were all deadbeats, okay? But it doesn't matter because maybe next month it's going to be mine. Okay? And the law of averages is that it will be. So here we go, month 4, okay? The team grows by 2. We've got 4, 4, 4, 4. That's 16 divided by 8, 8-to-1 ratio, right? So now the team in month 4 grew by 2. Joanne's probably looking at me and going, Kevin, we're not going to get there from here. At this rate. 4 months into the business, and our team, we've got 1, 2, 3, 5 people. Stay with it. Now, month 5, everybody does what? Everybody has to do their part. And I keep telling everybody on the team, everybody still has to do their part. You cannot slow down. You cannot, because the team is depending on you. The total team's numbers, you got to go through quantity to find the quality. All the team numbers are dependent on you executing what you're supposed to do. Now, in the meantime, not are we just showing the business to 4 qualified, we're also doing what? We're using 200, 250, 300, 400 in our household, and we're expanding our repeat customer base, aren't we? So BV is still all the BV is still coming up with everybody doing their part, using the product and selling the product and showing the business, okay? Here we go. Next. Month 6, team grows by 4. Month 7, team grows by what? 6. Now all of a sudden it's starting to go. Month 8, team grows. Now in the meantime, remember, I'm going over here and I'm putting what? I'm putting those X's that were in the outer there. Joanne is also what? She's working the A's that nobody was connected with here. And Dolly's doing the same. Does everybody see that? Okay? But everybody's given 80% of their time to this common leg because this is the class. This is the training ground. Okay? The real training goes on when you do the business with your people in the field, not at the GMTSS events. The GMTSS events, here's what they do. They tell you what you need to do. They try to explain to you how you need to do it. They explain to you why you need to do it. But you never really learn how to do it until somebody takes you with them and does it with you. And that's what we got to get everybody focused on doing this, okay? If I want to have the business shown to 10, 12, 14 people, I'll get Joanne and Dolly, bring your people, okay? I'm going to bring new people. I put 1 hour, 2 hours into the business, but we showed the plan to 15 people. That's what the home business presentation, that's how you leverage your time, okay? Month 9, team grows by 14. That's not 14 total people. That's in that month, your team grew by 14, okay? Month 10, team grows by 21. Month 11, by 31. And then the 12th month, the team grows by 41. Now, all of a sudden, guess what? Now, remember, what's everybody doing? We have qualification volume, 300 to 600 BV. Everybody is a certain stage of doing what? Anywhere from 200 to 500 BV in their household for personal use, right? And we're building out a repeat retail customer base where we have 5 to 6 customers that are buying anywhere from 50 to 100, 150 BV worth of Market Hong Kong exclusive branded products. Everybody with me? And at the same time, they're visiting and starting to go through our shop.com site, okay, to buy and create IBV as you're doing. So we now have internet business volume, we have business volume coming, and everybody knows how to what? They are getting taught how to build a leg so that when all of a sudden, okay, you've got people here where you've got 1,200, 2,400, 3,600 a month, every 2 weeks, every week, coming up into that left bank of their 002 and the left bank of their 001, they're starting to see, okay, half of a very significant income going. Does everybody follow me? And we've taught them this is what we do. Everybody does those, 6 activities, and that's it. Okay? So now what happens is you're teaching them what they have to do at a bare minimum. We're focused on the 20% of the activities that generate 80% of the results, and we are teaching people how to do it so that they can go and start building the other side to collect on what we built here. This is what happened. So I ended up popping out a national. And then at about that time, guess what? JR said, I need you to buy 30 tickets. 30 tickets to the next convention. 30. Not 3. Not 3, like I'm telling you. Okay? But 30. I was like, man, I got in this business to get out of debt. I didn't get into this business to go deeper in debt, okay, because I didn't have that money. But I wrote that $3,000 check out, not knowing where that money was going to come from, and I knew I had to beat feet back to New Jersey before that check bounced to Mars. So what happened was I had to sell those tickets. So guess who I sold the tickets to? All those people that used to be my customers. Does everybody follow me? Okay? So so those people that ended up being nationals, okay? They weren't nationals yet, but the people that went with me to Greensboro, they're the ones that became nationals. And lo and behold, as I was working the other side with the A's outside of that network, that sphere, okay, I ended up, once these people got to nationals, I could then flip. And I started working 20% of my time here, 80% of my time over here, and I ended up with two directors in the other leg before these people even went another pin level. And then I hit national supervising coordinator, okay? But I made it in 14 months after failing the first 12 months. It took me 27 months to basically do the 2 to 3 year plan. 27 months, all right? Working it part-time, okay? Then when we got IBV, well, then I left and went to Greensboro and became a, full-time, whatever, executive or whatever with the company, okay? But what happened was, all of a sudden, guess what came along during that time? IBV, the Internet Business Volume. We never had it before. All of a sudden, I got, hey, you just hit another pin level, and I didn't even know. It was like money for nothing, okay? Because these people started doing what? Buying products they were going to buy anyway from what? Their shop.com site. They bought their washing machines, their dryers, and all its clothes, everything that we didn't have an exclusive brand for, okay? But think about it. When you take a look at and you got 300 to 600 BV initial qualification volume, 150 to 250 a month minimum personal use, and then you've got 100 to 600 BV a month, some stages of repeat customers, you're generating a lot of volumes. Everybody with me? And you understand the leverage that's created. When you get this, I always tell people, here's my goal. My goal and objective, when I bring you in the business, I want to make you so one-legged you cry every night. Every night, I want you to feel the pain. I want to drive that so deep, okay? Because you're not going to, you know what? You're going to stay and keep at it, just like me, keep at it until you make it happen, okay? All right. Now, the key is leverage, team, leverage, all right? Now, you need to take full responsibility of your business. Do not wait on your senior business partner, your junior business partner, the GMTS basically in your local, okay? You can do this, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, I've been doing this for 27 years, and I've seen this business work for tens of thousands of people that realize they can't solely rely on that 40 to 45 year plan. And they have a strong enough why, okay, that motivates them to do what? Use the product, sell the product, share the business, buy 3 tickets. Those are the result-producing activities, okay? Boils all down. Those are the 20% of the activities that generate 80% of the results in the business, and that's it. And every single one of us in this auditorium, guess what? You already possess the skill sets necessary to execute those 4 activities. That's the good news. The bad news is, you already possess the skill sets necessary to succeed in this business. So it comes down to one and only one thing. It's a choice. You either choose to do it or you choose not to do it. But it's not because you're not capable, okay? I have been here since Genesis, okay, from day one. And I've seen everybody when they first started in the business, okay? We're no different than you. All of these people up here that have been successful with their business, they're no different than each and every one of you. They just made the decision. They just decided to commit to making it happen. And commit for a period, not for a week, not for a month, but they made the commitment to build this business and do what they needed to do for 24 to 36 months, okay? It works if you work it. It works if you work it. Now, the thing is how many people in here desire something more than they currently have? Raise your hand. I mean, really. How many people in here desire something more than you currently have? Okay? How many people realize that, solely relying on one revenue stream is not going to, it's not going to happen for you. Okay? So you have to do something in addition to what you're currently doing in order to achieve what you desire. Then this is what this business can provide you. Over the next 2 to 5 years, you can achieve whatever it is that you desire. But you've got to commit. You have got to commit. And the thing is time. The longer we kick the can down the road, you understand what I'm talking about, kicking the can down the road. You're kicking the can. I want something, but you know what? I'm not ready to commit, and you just keeping, and you're thinking, I want it, but you're not willing to decide, not willing to do what it takes, so you just keep kicking the can down the road. Okay? A year from now, 2 years from now, guess where you're at? You're not in the same place that you started. Does everybody understand that? You are not. You're worse. You know why? Because you just spent 2 years you can't ever get back. You just spent 24 months. Now, what I talked about yesterday, I wasn't trying to be cute. I'm serious, okay? Now, I saw here in Hong Kong, life expectancy is what? 81.7 years. I just saw that. 81.7 years. I wanted to do a deal for 85. I was saying, hey, I want 85. Why? Because that gives me 240 months. That's 12 times 20. Okay? That gives 240 months. I'm going to be down to 239 in 2 weeks. 239. And by the time I get through December and the holidays, I'm down to 238. And before I know it, World Conference will be here, and I'll be down to 235. Is everybody following this? It goes quick. Now, if I want what I say I want, and I really want it bad, I'm going to do something with those 240 months. Because you know what? I was just shown that you may not have those 240 months. You may have, 4 years less, 48 months less than what you think. You see, you don't have time. We cannot afford to spend time like we spend cash. You understand that? When we start off with money in our pocket, okay, and we've got cash, we normally don't carry cash. Why? Because it disappears. It disappears, and on Friday, at the end of the week, we're like, where did the money go? Where did it go? And and we can't do it because it just kind of trickles here and it trickles there. And unfortunately, we spend our time like we spend cash. Now, you're going to have to make some sacrifices. Not big sacrifices, but you're going to have to make some sacrifices. I had to come to the realization I was going to have to make some sacrifices, like not hang out at the bar with my buddies after work 3 times a week and drink beer. None of those activities were doing anything to help me get out of debt. Okay, playing softball in a softball league, okay, every weekend was not something that was helping me get out of debt. Okay, I had to take an inventory. Where was I spending my time? And I had to cut those things out and take that time to build my business to get out of debt. Is everybody with me? So there's going to be some sacrifices. I will tell you this, but the sacrifices today. The sacrifices you make with 24 to 36 months of today's, you will have years of tomorrows that you will never have if you don't make those sacrifices. And they're not real big sacrifices. They're mostly cutting things out that you really are wasting your time with anyway, like watching TV or things like that. My point is, you've got to make that commitment. Now, one of the things I'm going to share with you right now, one of the things you have to do, you're going to have to commit to those activities. And one of those activities is you need to buy 3 tickets. If you don't leave here today, I'm just going to tell you right now, if you don't leave here today with 3 tickets to the convention this spring, Market Hong Kong's convention this spring, what you're basically saying, okay, not basically, this is what you're saying. You're saying that I do not intend to execute or apply anything that I learned here this weekend. That's really what you're saying. And indirectly, you're saying, I really am not ready to commit to do the business. Because buying 3 tickets to the next event, that's part of the business. It's not something you get a ribbon for. It's just what we do. Just like we qualify a center, we activate a center. It's the standard operating procedure. You got to buy 3 tickets to the next event. 3 tickets to the next event. Or you're making the declaration to yourself that, guess what? I'm not ready to commit. And then you have to ask yourself, do I really want what I say I want? Do I really desire what I say I desire? You really have to think about it. Now, I'm going to tell you, you have to take full responsibility for this business. It's your business, it's your income. Your level of success in this business is going to be directly proportional to your willingness to take personal responsibility. And I'm going to tell you something. This is the most beautiful vehicle I've ever seen. Because guess what? You can't build a business that generates residual income unless you help many, 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 many others create a business that improves their financial situation, enhances their quality of life, and improves their standard of living, and helps them get what they desire in the months that they have left to 85. I'm proud of this business. I love this business. I will never quit doing this business, okay? Because I've seen this business help tens of thousands of people over the 27-year period. Listen, with this business, you can truly make a difference in so many people's lives. You can truly make a difference with so many people's lives. Okay? I know of nothing where in order for you to get what you want, you have to help so many people get what they want. And it's just the way it is. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But in order to make that difference in so many people's lives, you have to start in the beginning. You got to decide to be the difference. You got to be the difference. You have to be the difference in order to make the difference. You have to lead by example. You have to show people the way. You have to show people the way so that they believe they can do it too. Now, I'm telling you something. I've changed. People have asked me, what are you doing? What is it that you want? I'm going to tell you what I want. I'm going to share this with you. I'm here in Asia for one reason, and for me personally, one reason and one reason only. Okay? I know I only have 240 months left until I saw that slide. Now it's less. I want to do something big. I want to do something big with my life. Big. I want to really do something that is going to make a difference. And I believe we have the ability to do great, great, great things in all the market countries here in Asia. Okay? If I did not believe that, I would not be here at age 65 with a commitment to spend the next 3 to 7 years making this happen. Does everybody follow me? Okay? I'm making a commitment. I'm deciding to do it. I think we can create make an unbelievable statement, and we can do this here in Hong Kong. Okay? So what I'm asking, everybody make the decision. Get your 3 tickets to the next convention. Okay? Make that decision and make that commitment to yourself that you're going to not only change your life by being the difference, you're going to make the difference in many, many other people's life. Thank you. God bless you, and I'll see you later.